Hear ye, all pieces everywhere. Hear ye, all talking about you and me. I've known rivers, the souls of the ages flow through me, traveling journeys of long ago, muddy waters carrying troubles, but no retreat. Hear ye all.
Hey, YouTubers. This is Sharon Kyle, LA Progressive. That was Wilson Bell. And I'm about to interview him. You can see Dick is here in the back. We work all the time. I'm interviewing Wilson Bell because he is the director, actor, writer of a play that's coming out, and it has a lot to do with Donald Trump. So LA Progressive is very interested in what this progressive has to say. Listen to the interview. Thanks for joining us.
Got it.
Welcome, LA Progressive. This is Sharon Kyle with you again, and today I'm joined by Wilson Bell. And Wilson is a friend. He's also an actor, and recently he did a reading of a piece that he's going to be performing for the public. But he invited me to this private reading, and I was just so blown away and thought that, hey, this is LA Progressive relevant. The piece that he has written is a one-man piece, and it's about his experiences. Well, I'll let him talk a little bit about it. So, Wilson, welcome. Tell us about Scrapbook.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you. So yes, so the complete title is Scrapbook, Pieces of Facebook, God, and an ever-present orange clown. And it came out of the start of it came out of writings as I was posting on Facebook since the day that Donald Trump was elected. Most often refer to him as the orange clown. And it really deals with how this person and this phenomenon impacted my life and that of the world that I know of. And so from that, I started a book, which I'm still editing. And then recently, as I came back to acting and performing, I created a piece, a one-man show. And in that show, it's not just Facebook posts because let's face it, that would not be that exciting. But it is, those inform and influence other pieces of characters that were created from online and experiences, interactions with people, as well as some poetry and just thoughts. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how long did it take you to write this, or have you been writing it throughout the presidency?
I was writing it throughout the presidency. I started, as I said, writing a book, which I probably have over 500 pages of the book. And I had been editing that. Actually, honestly, I had been writing and I put it aside because I didn't have the energy for some reason to really edit the book. But then I be I began to re-enter the world of acting. I had taken a hiatus for actually almost a couple of decades and joined a couple of reading and writing actor performing groups. And in those groups, I decided one of them, you bring in 10-minute pieces. I decided to bring in 10 minutes of my work a few times through some months and decided from that to put that together to create the piece, the one-man show. And so that took about 7 months. But it's the result of, I guess, 7, 8 years of the whole experience that we all have been having since Donald Trump started to run and became president of the United States.
Yes, yes, it has it's a very painful experience. As the publisher of the LA Progressive, one of the upsides of being the publisher of the LA Progressive is I have an opportunity to provide a platform to progressive voices such as yours and so many others. But one of the downsides is that I am constantly immersed in
Mm,
news, and it's really depressing.
mm,
But arts, somehow I've been gaining an appreciation for how the arts can play a role in helping both to inform us and to take the less palatable and
mhm.
have us sit and experience it and not just want to go and shoot ourselves in the head.
Yeah, I think I know that that has been part of the outlet for me during this time because it's I do reiterate that it's a phenomenon. Sometimes I encapsulate it with Trumpism and Trump, but it's not just the man. It is the ism. It is the experience that I've been having just in our government, in our politics, even in relationships, learning things that maybe sometimes are really wonderful and good, and sometimes are shocking and surprising that perhaps I had some awareness of, but that were compartmentalized and put in particular places where they were okay and and acceptable, if you will. And then as time has been passing over these 8 to 9 years, it they become revealed
Yeah,
and no longer acceptable. But if there was going to be acceptance, they needed to at least be talked about. And in writing that and performing, that became a way for me to work that out and look at that and communicate that across um, all areas with multiple differences of people. And as you say, in a way that was palatable and if not accepted, at least heard.
absolutely. I think you really, really do that very well. Over these 8 or 9 years, I personally don't have, I don't think I really have any people who follow Trump in my inner world, my
Mm,
family, close friends. I don't know people like that, but I have had encountered people who I knew long ago and then bumped back into recently and learned that one of them, at least, it's a couple that I really admired in my
mm,
early 20s. One of them had voted for Trump, and she says she now regrets it. But your piece talks about how, you encounter people who you knew and
mm.
and how is that? But you deliver that message in a way, like I said, it is palatable. And I think we have to learn how to connect to all kinds of people, regardless of how abhorrent their politics are, if we
Mm,
really want to build community. Um, they have to know us and we have to know them.
mhm. It's a challenge, and one of the things that I was trying to do when I wrote, and even now as I work with the director, try to do when I'm performing the piece, is just really reflect who I have been seeing and what I experienced with those people. Um, it is not always easy or desirable to um, to interact with that. But some of these people, it's so interesting. Like some of these people are family to me, um, that have these traits that have come to fore, or that have always, yeah, that may have always been there in some way, but um, were covered up. And what has happened, right? And everybody talks about this, is that since these years have passed, there's been sort of permission. You can be as ugly and disrespectful and unkind, and selfish as you want to be, because that's America, right?
Right.
Um, and um, so it's not an easy thing. Um, I I I just sort of look at it and try as much as possible. I don't necessarily, and my friends and family, people that I know who I am. I don't necessarily condone it, but to the extent that I can learn who they are, I can appreciate that part of them that I know is human, and um, that is the better person. And then, if there's too much of the devil showing, then I love them from a distance. But doesn't mean that I don't know them, or I don't see them. One of the things that I had some people who saw the show say that they appreciated that I didn't um, seem to condescend with the people. I didn't wasn't making fun of them. I just was, they said appreciated, and I say I just saw who they were. Because I don't necessarily like what I see, but I don't want to belittle
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're successful. You don't
Thank you.
belittle. Now let's talk a little bit about the Fringe,
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Fringe, where people can see this. And we opened this conversation up first with a little song that
Mm-hmm.
comes out of the performance. So I want people to understand this is not a musical, but there are some musical elements. You want to tell us about the opening of this
Sure.
conversation.
Sure. So the opening of this conversation is a piece that happens in the beginning of the show, of the performance, and it's it's a call to hear ye. Let's have a conversation together. And so that's basically what the song says. Hear ye all. And part of it is, particularly as an African American, and my relationship to this world, again, in the context of Trumpism, is um, is that I have a legacy and a history, that is a part of the story that I'm telling as we talk on the stage during this performance. And so that's what that snippet, that piece, that song is about, and how we enter into the journey that we take along for the hour. The show is the original show, and the show that I will be doing outside of the Fringe is probably an hour and a half, but due to constraints of the Fringe, for me, it's an hour performance in the Fringe, and it'll be at a theater called the Let Live Theater. It's a part of Actors Company. It's on Formosa in Hollywood, West Hollywood, right on the border. I'm sure Sharon, I'll give her the information and we'll share
Yeah,
that in the
I'll put it up.
article.
Mhm.
Great. And I have three performances, one on June 16th, one on June 28th, and the other one is the last performance, and it's on the last day of the Fringe Festival, June 30th. And I'll have all of the specific times. It's on all of the paraphernalia. You can also find out about my show and any other show in the Fringe, there's a website, and I'll give this to Sharon as well, called Hollywood Fringe. I think it's just hollywoodfringe.com.
Yeah, I'll put all that stuff up so
Yeah.
people will see it. It'll slide kind of over your face while you're talking.
Okay.
So all of that
Okay.
will be there. So tell us a little bit about Fringe. As I go to, there are people who don't know that Los Angeles has a very vibrant
Hmm.
um
Theater
live
community.
theater that is just amazing. So tell us,
Mhm.
what is Fringe?
So Hollywood Fringe Festival, I think I know that across the country, people have different fringe festivals, and they come out of, as far as I know, an original fringe festival, which is the Edinburgh Film Festival in Scotland. And that fringe festival happened as part of the Edinburgh Film Festival. So the film festival started, and then what started happening around this, I don't know how many decades ago it's been, but it's been over 30 years. The film festival started, and then as a part of that, the theater community started doing theater shows around that and created this Fringe Festival at the same time. So it goes out on the fringes of the film festival. Um, and I think now it starts before, but it extends through to the festival. So other countries, other places picked up that idea. And Hollywood Fringe Festival, I don't think it's associated with the Hollywood Film Festival. I don't know, but they just use that term. This festival goes from June 13th through the um, 30th, as I say, June 30th. And they've been doing it for a couple of decades at least, I think. Um, and there's going to be about, I don't know, I think a couple of hundred shows in it. All kinds of shows. There'll be cabarets, there'll be one-person shows, solo performances, and pieces there. And some of the shows will be a half hour long, and some of them will be 2 hours long, depending upon the venue that it is and what the show is. So it's an exciting time, and it represents, there'll be people um, representing, not necessarily, but there will be people representing other theater companies. And as Sharon, you were saying, there is a really vibrant theater company, theater society in Los Angeles, particularly what we call 99-seat theater companies. And those are small theaters. They don't all have 99 seats, but they go up to 99 seats because of equity contracts and rules that are defined there. And it allows them to affordably be able to do theater, which can be expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I it just never ceases to amaze me the number of theaters that have these fabulous productions, and they're in the
Hmm.
small theaters. And for me, my experience has been that these small, more intimate theaters allow you to experience the production in a way that is more engaging. You're not so far removed from the what's going on the stage. Like, at some of these larger venues, sometimes you even
Hmm.
need to have binoculars. But here,
I know. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. No, it's great. It's great to be, especially if you're like you've got 50 seats or even 99 seats, you're not more than, I don't know, 30 feet away from the stage.
that's right.
And so you do get to really be a part of up close and personal what's going on in the interaction. And that is also the wonderful thing about theater. It's live and you're there. You're hearing the breath. You're partaking in the words, and in a way, I love film, I love television, but in a way that those things just can't capture uh, the the live experience, the
Yes.
shared experience.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think that they can. I don't think they can replace it. Well, Wilson Bell, it's been wonderful talking to
Mhm.
you about Scrapbook, Pieces of Facebook God and an Ever-Present Orange Clown, written, produced,
Yes.
acted by Wilson Bell, and directed to, or you have
No,
direction?
I have a director. The director is Michael Phillips Edwards.
Good.
We worked together on a one-person show years ago that I took to Australia, and it was a show that he wrote.
Well, Wilson, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I can't wait to see it. I saw the reading, and now
Yes.
I will be going on the 16th. Dick and I will be going on the 16th. And we're
Yay.
inviting the LA Progressive community. We're going to put up a link so that people can get tickets. And we
Please
highly,
come. Please
yeah,
come.
we're giving it a 5. 5
All right.
stars out of 5.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you so long.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for sticking around. If you like the LA Progressive content and the discussions we have here, please consider clicking the subscribe button below and also give us a thumbs up. That helps to grow our audience by feeding the algorithm, which helps to get this content in front of more eyes. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate your support.